The Justice League TV series was awesome, and it was the best version of the Justice League ever. The DCU holds no candle to this iconic team from the early 2000s. But why? What made this TV series so popular that even today it is the standard by which a DC property is measured? So my name is Soham and welcome to this new video of Wonder Why I See, where I'll talk about the Justice League TV series. Now in this video, I'll talk mainly about the Justice League animated series, but there will be some mentions and references to its sequel Justice League Unlimited as well. I won't necessarily say a lot about it since I feel like it deserves a video of its own. And also, at many places I will compare it with the current DCU lineup of movies in order to prove my point. So if you have not watched either of these properties yet, then of course there will be spoilers ahead and you have been warned. Now, Justice League is an American animated television series which ran from 2001 to 2004 on Cartoon Network. Bruce Timm, who co-produced Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series from the 90s, became a producer for Justice League as well. The roster consisted of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern in the form of John Stewart, The Flash in the form of Wally West, Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl. Now this cast I believe is one of the biggest advantages that this show had, because Justice League was basically the love child of Batman the Animated Series as well as Superman the Animated Series, two immensely popular and well received shows from the 90s. And because of this, all these subsequent properties are collectively and fondly called as the Timmverse. Subsequently, familiar voices also returned for Justice League in the form of Kevin Conroy and the others. Now, Justice League was quite different from the other comic book animated shows at that time. Following in the footsteps of Batman the Animated Series, Justice League never shied away from showing dark stuff. There was no explicit gore or something, but everything was not always cheerful and happy-go-lucky. Moreover, this show understood the ethos of these characters very well, which is I don't know why lacking these days in the DCEU. It's been pointed again and again on YouTube, but I'll still repeat this here. Superman is not someone that is above humanity. The way Man of Steel portrays Superman as someone who's sympathetic of humanity's shortcomings and basically looks down upon mankind is just absurd. That has never been the story of Superman. And before Superman, he is actually Clark Kent. He is very much a part of the planet, and that's where this Justice League shines. It understands its characters profoundly. This was the Justice League that I grew up watching, and this is the Justice League that I fell in love with. It understood these characters and what this stood for. It acknowledges their shortcomings and pays respect to their comic book origins. Now, for very obvious reasons, Batman seemingly always got a little extra love in this show, and it's kind of obvious because it was basically his show that started it all, paving the way for Justice League to arrive. However, that doesn't mean the other characters were ignored. Almost all the characters got decent screen time and character development. Some like The Flash and Martian Manhunter got better development in the sequel series Justice League Unlimited, but most of the core members got to shine in this series as well. There are some very interesting storyline choices along with some epic shippings and pair-ups. The Green Lantern and Hawkgirl relationship plays a very important role throughout the show, and the dynamic between Diana and Bruce was really beautiful. This was my favorite ship that I wanted to see in every other DC property. Batman x Wonder Woman rocks. Hell, even the villains were fabulously done. This version of Lex Luthor will always be my favorite. I'll talk about the villains more in the Unlimited video although. Now, the character designs were fabulous, and the stories in the two-parter episode style worked very well with this series, as it provided breathing ground to the show right from the very beginning, which later on solidly built the grounds for the amazing Cadmus story arc in Unlimited. Honestly, so much of love and so much of care was put into making this show, and it's very much evident right from the amazing voice acting to the story up to the character designs. Honestly, this show had some of the best designs for DC characters, in particular John Jones aka Martian Manhunter. This design was far better than his DC AMU counterpart. Also, talking of DC AMU or the DC animated movie universe, the Justice League animated series had a deep impact on the DC AMU as well, even though it is based on the New 52. PS, I still wish the Bruce Diana ship happened there too, but alas, I'm not complaining because the DCEMU has also done some really good work, and I'll probably discuss about that in a future video. Thus, all in all, I loved this series a lot, and with the addition of Justice League Unlimited, this combined show became the definition for the Justice League for thousands of fans all over the world. This show was just something special. It rewarded older fans who had watched the Batman and Superman series with awesome callbacks to the previous incidents, at the same time not alienating newer audiences. Giving new twists to some of the best DC storylines ever, this show managed to captivate the hearts of not only kids but adults alike. That's why it is so highly regarded even today. And don't even get me started on the awesomeness that was the theme song and intro to this particular show. Yes, sure, by today's standards, it kind of seems dated because of the 3D and CGI, but you cannot argue with me about the epicness of this intro. Yes, sure, once I remove my nostalgia-tainted glasses, I can definitely see some of the shortcomings that this show had, like stiffy animation here and there and some dull episodes in the middle. But overall, this show had a lot to offer even to non-DC fans alike. The most captivating part of the show, however, was definitely the 3-parter opening and 3-parter finale in the form of Secret Origins and Starcrossed respectively. Secret Origins showed the creation of the Justice League in the situation of dire needs, all the while giving nods to their previous adventures and also portraying perfectly why Batman is such a badass. At the same time, the series finale in the form of Starcrossed perfectly encapsulated the Thanagarian invasion, giving nods to the Green Lantern and Hawkgirl romance while Earth was getting sacrificed by the Thanagarian invasion. This was definitely my favorite mini-arc of the series, and as a kid, for me, the Justice League unmasking scene was the coolest moment ever, which was then topped off by them meeting in the Batcave. Honestly, I love this Batman so much. Their unmasking scene was just perfect, and in a way, something that I had always expected to be. Also on that note, I know that Barry Allen and Hal Jordan are fan favorites, but this show did an awesome job with Wally West and Jon Stewart. I loved the scenes, and also, this Green Lantern was too good. Also, the series didn't shy away from diving into darker and morally grey areas, and this was even more evident in Justice League Unlimited. I'll talk about that in the next video, but for now, this is it. And just as a side note, the Justice League Watchtower was the coolest thing that I had ever seen. I loved this show as a kid and I love it even today. Some of my favorite stories include A Better World, Secret Origins, The Savage Time, Fury, Legends, Hereafter, Starcrossed, and many more. A big thank you to all the awesome people who worked on this show and made it a childhood favorite. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe for more. This is Wonder Wisey and I'll see you soon in the next one.